Good afternoon or good morning, depending on when you're watching this video. But let's go to Windows. Okay, we did doors previously. So to do Windows, we're going to be on the Architecture tab. And instead of the door tool, we are going to be on the window tool. Same thing applies. You can only place windows when you're inside of the window tool. Now that I'm in the tool, the only options available are right here. There's a few options. By default, the fixed window, the window casement double, and the window double hung. To load other windows, you would again click on Load Family and go to the window folder. Okay, of course, down at the bottom, and there are tons of windows that you can go through. You can download windows, and you can also model your own windows. But we will do the modeling part later. I'm going to stick to the simple stuff right now, and we're going to go with these double hung windows. And I'm going to, and I don't see one, it's quite wide enough, so I do have to load one up. Now with bedroom windows, you do have to be observant of building code, because your bedroom window also serves as the emergency fire exit. And it must have 5.7 square feet of open space. And I'll show you what they're talking about when they're talking about measuring that 5.7 square feet. Now, by experience, I just happen to know I'm still indoors. How do I get back indoors? Okay, I happen to know, and I'm going to go here to double hung. Double. Oh, that's a double window. Double hung, and I'm going to click open, and I'm going to look for my size. Now typically, I know from experience, about a 36-inch wide. I got 34 and 38, so maybe 30, maybe 34. Let's try a 34 by 62. And you know, it'd really be good if they would put the open space on here too as one of the criteria, but obviously they didn't do that. So let's, my camera's like really weird. So here we go. We're going to choose this. It is a 34 by 62. And override existing versions. Sure, go ahead. And now that I'm in the tool for Windows, and I have that particular window stuck to my, or it should be stuck to my cursor, but it's not. If it's not, just go in and look for it. 34 by 62. Now anything that's in this, which is called the type selector, if anything is in here, it means it's loaded into the project. If it's not in here, it's not loaded into the project. So you would have to go load it with Load Family. But there is the window that I just recently loaded in here. I'm going to go ahead and place it in this room for now, and we're going to take a look at it. I am going to go to the View tab, and this is strictly so we can look at this window. And I'm going to place an elevation. Yeah, save the project. Place an elevation right here so we can go and take a look at this. Okay, and it's right here, elevation 1A. Now you don't have to do this as you are following along, but I'm just going to show you some things about windows. All right, now this is the window that I just placed, and the area that we're talking about needing 5.7 square feet of open space is this bottom portion here. When you lift it up, there needs to be 5.7 square feet. So approximately, we will measure from here to here, and we get 2 foot 7 inches. Then we measure from here to here, and we get 2 foot 4 inches. So I need to do some multiplying with that. And let's see, that's roughly 28 inches times 31 inches equals 868 divided by 144 equals 6.02. So I am beyond the 5.7 square feet, just a little bit, but I am beyond it, which is great. So these are going to work perfect for my bedrooms. If I want to put a smaller window somewhere else, like in the living room, I can. I don't have that that constraint of building code holding me up there. Another thing as far as building codes as well is from the bottom of the house to the windowsill. it must be within 42 inches, I believe it is. But you know, typically you're always going to come within that. So that's that right there is about 34 somewhere around. Forgive me for the math in my head, but we're good to go as far as height. You can actually bring these down a lot lower if you want to. Some bedrooms do have really low windows. Mine does, probably about a foot off the floor is where my windowsill comes to. But anyway, that is about windows. Going back to level 1 floor plan view. Okay, I have that window, and I'm going to go back and just place some other windows. And a couple other things about the windows as you're placing them. Again, by taking the cursor and favoring one side of the wall on the other is going to place the exterior face of that window. So I want to favor the outside of the wall to place the exterior face of the window outside. If by chance you need to double check to make sure you have it in the right spot, look for this double arrow right here. That tells you which way the window is facing. If it's on the outside, that means that that is the exterior. If I were to switch that around with the arrows on the inside of the house, that would mean that the exterior face of the window is facing into the room, and we don't want that. Okay, now to continue placing, you can place windows however and whenever you want. You do need to kind of think about aesthetics and proportion. You want the windows to look proportional, especially from the front of the house. I'm going to put 2 windows in this little guest room. And so I'm placing those windows. Now I can go back and do some editing to these windows to make them, you know, more, let's see, I can do it this way. Watch this. Go to annotate, and this is where you do your dimensioning. I'm going to choose an aligned dimension. And I am going to choose the center of that wall, center of that window, center of that window, and center of that wall. I'm going to stretch my dimension out here. And there's this little equal icon. So if I want everything evenly spaced from the edges of the walls or the center of the edges of the walls between each window, I can click on this EQ button that is currently has a slash through it. So clicking on that button means that everything is now equal in measurement from all of my different measuring points. And that's one way of building symmetry. You know, typically you can find the center of a wall in this fashion, but let's say I'm not sure, and mine's perfect. So I can do the same thing here, pull out the dimension and hit on the equal. Now these dimensions, of course, later on you'll want to hide those when you do your actual floor plan dimensions. And of course, you know, that's something else that comes much later in our discussion. But anyway, that gets you going on windows. You should be able to finish placing your windows around the building. Now in the living room, you'll probably want more windows. I usually place a lot of windows, really wide, tall windows. I like to let a lot of light in as much as possible. And I really like windows in general, so I would probably go back and put another window on this room and probably 2 windows on this room as well. In the kitchen, you have to be careful that you're going to choose a window that is much smaller, not a 62-inch tall window, probably something more like about a 42-inch window. And you're also going to raise the sill, the bottom sill of that window, up a bit higher. You want the bottom sill of that window to clear your cabinetry. You're going to have some base cabinets in there. That's you know, typically you'll put a window right over the kitchen sink is a good place to put a window in a kitchen. And if it is over the kitchen sink, you'll want it to clear the cabinet. So it would be a little bit higher. But that's really all there is to windows. Nothing really complicated. Just try to keep it symmetrical. Observe your building code when it comes to your bedrooms, and you're golden.